The PS5 has an impressive lineup of games on the horizon, with major releases spanning action, RPGs, horror, and more. This lineup features new and upcoming PS5 games worth the hype. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Brook Hollow Park.
Grounded 2 puts players back at the size of an ant in a large park, where survival depends on crafting weapons and armor, building a base, and gathering resources. Play alone or in co-op while riding buggies that help with combat and collecting materials. Different archetypes provide distinct abilities, and larger creatures require preparation, strategy, and stronger gear as more secrets inside the park become clear.
Please tell me that was your stomach.
Hold on to your buggies for a survival epic 65 millimeters in the making.
Clever girl.
Go, go, go! What the hell did we get ourselves into?
Dark Mass is a first-person horror game set entirely underwater inside a sunken manor hidden beneath the ocean. Players control Alice as she searches the ruins, solves puzzles based on historical torture rituals, and uncovers the source of a dark curse. A mysterious presence remains inside the manor, while moral decisions influence how Alice's story ends and whether she escapes the depths or not.
They call him.
Metro 2039 takes place beneath the ruined city of Moscow, where survivors remain inside the metro tunnels after nuclear war. Players take part in a single-player story with combat, stealth, and survival while facing the rule of Hunter's Novorite regime. The story also introduces the Stranger, whose past draws him back into the ruined city as conflict grows beneath Moscow and on the surface.
But where are the Spartans now? To protect the metro from you. You promised a brighter future for our people. Now, the Norai spreads tyranny in your name. You swore to crush the enemy, to face them head on, and guide the metro to the light. But darkness consumes you, spreads like a plague, eats you from within. Every step and every move drowns you deeper in lies. Your lies, and now, Hunter, that legendary Spartan is gone. Turn to ash. I won't stop until the Führer burns with him.
Welcome! Planet Zoo 2 expands zoo management with new animal species, larger building options, and wildlife reserves across different regions. Players create habitats for animals with unique needs and behaviors, including fully aquatic species and flying birds. Career, franchise, and sandbox modes offer different ways to manage each zoo, while custom habitats, guest facilities, and multiple biomes provide more options for building and animal care.
Let's begin.
Meet Lamarty, the Maasai giraffe. He shares his space with a pretty big family, so we need to make sure there's plenty of vegetation for everyone. And with the warm weather, we need to keep the fresh water flowing.
Speaking of water, we'll need an aquarium large enough to house several of our aquatic species, including our endangered hawksbill turtles, Mia and her family.
You'd be surprised how quickly these tanks get dirty. There goes one of our keepers now. We have one more stop to make. We're building a brand new kind of habitat, an aviary. It'll be the perfect home for our white-tailed sea eagles, Hamish and Freya. We've made sure there's plenty of space for them to spread their wings and to have some fun.
Conservation is Fenn's most important goal. Like in the Scottish Highlands, where we're releasing our eagles into our wildlife reserve. We've done a lot to prepare this environment for them, something you'll be sure to do more of on your journey. Together, we can create a better world for all living creatures. So, are you ready?
Mistfall Hunter builds its gameplay around high-risk PvPvE battles where players gather loot and attempt to escape with their rewards. Play alone, or with a 3-player team while using different classes, weapon stances, talents, skills, and gear. Hostile creatures and rival hunters stand in the way, and losing a battle means leaving behind everything collected before reaching an extraction point. Arizona Sunshine returns as a third-person action game that keeps the original zombie campaign while removing the VR requirement. Players can also control Buddy, the dog from Arizona Sunshine 2, during the campaign. Combat includes an upgraded gore system with improved limb damage, while solo, online co-op, and split-screen play support different ways to take on the story. "14 Years of Flames" is a story through a first-person shooter campaign based on China's struggle during the Second Sino-Japanese War. Players control 7 key characters across 16 real historical events while using historically recreated weapons, vehicles, and military equipment. Different campaign locations represent major battles across China, showing the conflict through a series of story-driven missions based on historical events.
所以死了，一切意义都没了。我们的追求一致，过上舒服的生活，不是吗？康康们的如今的繁荣与进步，我们的都是亚细亚同胞兄弟，共保和平，才能共荣大东亚。周队长已经加入了我们，赵兄弟要是不嫌弃，就请来担任皇协军队长。今天晚上，我们得先去喝2杯，然后再。
It's smaller.
She was fearsome. Damn fine woman she was.
God of War Laufey introduces Faye as the playable character after she awakens in the Everywhen and fights to protect the plans she left for Kratos and Atreus. Players use fast combat with aerial attacks, magic, and a legendary sword linked to a talking cosmic cube. The story unfolds across a realm where gods from different mythologies rule, leading to battles against powerful divine enemies.
My name's Jimmy Myers. I'm the narrative director on God of War Laufey.
My name is Elise Morgan, and I am the lead writer on God of War Laufey.
My first experience with God of War was playing 2018.
I started my first God of War game with 2018 as well, and I actually joined the studio while they were working on Ragnarok, so I got to see that team work on that game and see how Faye came to life, and it was such a large part of how we began to build this character in God of War Laufey.
These stories have revolved around Faye in a lot of ways, but they're told through the lens of other people and what Faye meant to them. And even though we got to spend time with Faye a bit in Ragnarok, we didn't get to know her.
Time is running out, my love, and there is much to do.
But what we do know is that she was the guardian of Midgard, that she was the guardian of the giants, that she had the Leviathan axe made for her.
Oh, we knew Faye was the last guardian of the Jotnar left in Midgard. That's why we made her the axe. We hoped it could restore the balance of power.
But we also know that she met Kratos at her lowest point, that she had Atreus with Kratos, that she taught Atreus everything she knew so that he would be prepared. But behind all of that, there was a woman who held a lot of secrets, and she didn't tell even her closest loved ones everything about her.
She had a quiet moment of life for just a while, and then she died. When she died, she had a plan for Kratos and Atreus, something that she hadn't even told them about, and we didn't know why.
She sent us here, knowing we would find this.
But why not just tell us the truth?
But they trusted her, and they followed that plan, and everything that they accomplished in 2018 was a result of it. What players should know about God of War Laufey before they start playing is that it starts from the moment that Kratos placed Faye's body on the pyre and burned it. And from there, Faye awakens in the Everyone, which is the afterlife of the gods. And around her, she's in a lush place that is very different than what she expected.
All gods return to the afterlife of the gods at the end of their life. So when they die, this is where they go. And all magic goes there.
It's colorful and vivid and unexpected and beautiful, but it has suffered and been corrupted and become a bit threatening. Faye quickly realizes that the plan she had set in motion for Kratos and Atreus to protect them from a fate that she had foreseen may not work.
Mask.
Her priority shifts to getting home. The afterlife of the gods is inhabited by two gods of war named Bexi and Sekhmet.
And they look at Faye and they see her as just another thing to put into a cage.
Faye realizes that she has a pretty big challenge to overcome in freeing herself from their grasp.
She meets the Cosmic Cube Frank. She meets Rue, these ribbons attached to a sword, and she's saying, let me help you. Let me help you through this. Let's do this together. And that is going to be the group that helps her find her way home.
Faye is a survivor. She's powerful. She's scary when she wants to be.
You touch me again, and I swear, I will kill you.
She's a great fighter, but she's also very willing to fight dirty. I think that scrappiness is something that gives her an advantage against someone even as towering as Bexi. Faye brings a sense of hope and the possibility of change. Her ability to overcome impossible odds is something she carried into the afterlife with her.
You can beat her down, you can drag her through the mud, she will get back up. She will get back up and spit in your face, she will get back up and keep going, she will get back up and keep swinging no matter what.
The aspirational nature of being able to overcome is something that she embodies. I really hope that that will resonate with fans. To be able to play as someone who can continually overcome and work through things and make it to the other side while still caring about everyone around them.
Come on! No! I got a promise to keep.
If you haven't had a chance yet, please check out the reveal. The team has put so much work into it and they're so excited to have you see it.
Thanks so much for watching. We can't wait to share more soon.
Alien Isolation 2 moves the survival horror story to a remote colony world where Blake investigates a crashed vessel before a deadly xenomorph begins hunting her. Players use stealth, climbing, mantling, environmental puzzles, and scavenged components while trying to survive across different locations. The creature uses upgraded AI, and classic cassette-style save terminals return alongside expanded movement and larger environments.
こんな失態を見逃す会社ではないの。これは最後のチャンス。Do you understand? Yes. I understand.
Creative Director at Neon Giant, here to talk about No Law, the next game from our studio. In our first game, The Ascent,
No Law is about the story of Gray Harker, an ex-military soldier whose search for a quiet life in Port Desire comes to an end when trouble reaches his doorstep. First-person shooting, tactical stealth, and direct combat offer different ways to handle each mission. Military upgrades, sci-fi devices, and branching story paths support different playstyles, with player actions leading to alternate outcomes.
Not against it. We realized early on that out of the box wouldn't be enough. We had to push beyond the default and build our own workflow inside UE5 to make the world we wanted. We're proud of what we did with The Ascent, and No Law is the next step in that same approach. Our constraint was specific. We didn't want the largest world, but the densest, a city that feels lived in at every scale, where every corner carries history and every surface tells a story. Port Desire is shaped by human clutter, cramped market alleys, layered graffiti, worn stickers on electrical boxes, spaces that feel touched and retouched by the people that live there. Our goal was to tell a story with every frame, from a messy apartment where characters go about their lives to the skyline of the city. As a relatively small team, that ambition came with real challenges. We wanted extreme detail everywhere, but we also needed stability and performance without hand optimizing each location. For us, the answer wasn't a single system, but a shift in how we built the world. We prioritized density over scale, and we built a pipeline that let artists handcraft spaces without constantly stripping detail back and without relying on procedural generation. Nanite is what made that approach viable. It lets us keep a high level of detail across surfaces without treating every asset as a trade-off between fidelity and performance. Our custom implementation of FastGeo in combination with the world partition system enables a seamless experience that never breaks. It allows us to have details in every nook and cranny and tell a million small stories. In fact, we have more objects in any given frame than the entirety of The Ascent. With this workflow, we can preserve detail and density in every corner, from the smallest bolt on a freighter to the city as a whole, with no invisible walls and no loading. We built tools inside Unreal to help our artists handcraft the entire city, alley by alley, building by building, block by block. To show Port Desire's full range as an urban city overrun with vegetation, we needed dynamic lighting. From the cozy, lush midday sun to the darkest, the most dangerous alleys where even the bright neon light does not reach. The challenge was maintaining a fully dynamic day, night, and weather system without unpredictable frame times. Lumen gives the foundation for fully dynamic lighting, and mega lights that our artists focus on the believability of the space instead of tuning every single light source. Every believable space needs dozens or hundreds of individual light sources. From the smallest blinking electronic warning light on a camera to the large neon signs above a marketplace. Mega lights allow us to retain the visual fidelity bar we're aiming for while keeping performance considerations low. Once everything is dynamic, it starts to affect the gameplay in more direct ways. Players can shoot out a street lamp, flood a space with a flashlight, or they can leave an area in darkness and have the AI NPCs react to light and shadow, shying away from glare, searching through darkness, or escalating when something feels off.
Let's see who's got the bigger gun, motherfucker!
To make the city feel alive, we leaned on the mass framework to drive our crowds. NPC density and types shift based on time of day, region, and weather. In the slums, a storm clears the streets, but in the more sinful parts of Port Desire, even heavy rain won't slow things down. Mass lets us simulate thousands of characters at once, over 3,000 at any given time, which is also more than the entirety of The Ascent. So the city always feels active, no matter where you are. We're also using MetaHuman, paired with our own character randomization system. Together with MetaHuman Animator, we can generate and bring to life thousands and thousands of variations of characters, so that the main characters and the extras in the background are all unique. We wanted a world that reacted systemically to the player, without us having to hand place effects and destruction. Filling a world of this density and scale with contextual effects while maintaining performance and interactivity was one of our key challenges. By combining PCG and Niagara data channels, environmental effects are procedurally populated where appropriate. Wherever artist places trash or leaves, particles will spawn dynamically based on wind, weather, and player actions. Shoot a bullet or throw a grenade, and particles will move out of the way. We combined chaos physics and their own GPU-driven solution to support tens of thousands of moving objects simultaneously. The result is a reactive environment where smoke lingers, embers drift, and broken glass stays where it fell. Creating NOLA has been the process of finding where the engine ends and our custom tools begin. Achieving this level of density, lighting complexity, and systemic reactivity was previously impossible for a studio of our size. By leveraging UE5's latest tech to bypass traditional development bottlenecks, we have finally been able to build the uncompromised version of the world we wanted to create for years. We can't wait for you to experience it. Thank you.
State of Decay 3 builds its survival around managing a growing community in a world overrun by zombies. Players gather resources, establish settlements, reclaim territory, and recruit new survivors while dealing with a new zombie evolution. Online co-op supports shared communities for up to 4 players, and base building, crafting, and permanent character death make planning and teamwork an important part of survival.
My friends and I used to argue about what ended the world. A weapon, a virus, something worse. It started in quiet towns, empty roads, places the world forgot. Survivors found each other, built walls, pushed back against the night. We'll always have each other's back. Because the world has become more dangerous than ever. The dead aren't just wandering anymore. They hunt. End. It doesn't matter what you believe. What matters is that when the dead come through the dark, so do we.
Hunter the Reckoning Deathwish puts players in the role of a monster hunter, protecting innocent people from creatures hidden across New York. Character customization, investigations, and player decisions shape each hunt, while clues help prepare for battles against vampires, werewolves, and other threats. A safe house supports planning, equipment management, and companion relationships, with each mission bringing risks that can change the outcome of the story.
A human with no superpowers, supernatural enemies can easily outmatch you. A beast can easily tear you apart, and a vampire can disappear in a split of a second. So going unprepared is a certain death. You'll be able to create your own male or female character and customize its looks in a deep editor Also, you will have to choose from different attributes or skills. It's all based on the Hunter Reckoning rulebook, so there's plenty of options to choose from, and each playstyle can be very unique. So you can explore open areas to gather some intel, investigate some crime scenes to gather some clues, and find some people who know a bit more than just rumors about the supernaturals and make them talk by whatever means you choose. So all objectives can be achieved in different playstyles. You can sneak your way in, you can show some muscles and fight your way in, talk your way in. Guns are also an option, but you just need to remember that each choice in the game has its own weight and it leads to very different consequences by the end. You'll team up with a cell of other hunters who will provide vital insights, firepower, and some technical support. But throughout the campaign, you will also learn their personal stories and bond with them, which can even lead to romance. At Theon, we always wanted to explore that true RPG direction, and World of Darkness with its complex RPG systems, gritty themes, and modern world settings felt like a perfect match for us. Get ready to fight back against the darkness and reclaim the night in summer 2027.
A reckoning is coming.
Blades. We break the pact. Now we are paying the price.
Armatus takes place in the ruined streets of Paris, where demons have overrun the city and the last survivors depend on a supernatural warrior for hope. Third-person roguelite shooting combines firearms, a scythe, and celestial powers against growing enemy threats. Each run allows new combat abilities and passive upgrades, while defeat leads to another attempt with stronger knowledge and different weapon combinations.
Slaughter begin!
Serious Sam's Shatterverse sends players across fractured realities where multiple versions of Sam unite against Mental's forces. Solo play and co-op for up to 5 players support battles with powerful weapons, boons, and run modifiers that change each attempt. Roguelite progression, shifting arenas, familiar enemies, new monsters, and major boss fights provide different combat situations throughout every run.
This is our best one yet! It's cannon time, baby! Let's fucking go!
Control Resonant places Dylan Faden at the center of a paranatural disaster spreading beyond the oldest house into Manhattan. Supernatural abilities, elemental powers, and a shape-shifting melee weapon support different combat styles against the hiss, the mold, and other paranormal threats. Character progression allows abilities to develop over time, while the story leads Dylan across the city in search of Jesse Faden.
I know what they put you through. You never had a chance.
Two days before the lockdown fell, an uncategorized resonance appeared in Manhattan. As things stand right now, Dylan, you're our only shot at survival.
You are not FBC. You're not even fucking human.
The FBC locked me in that cell for years and forgot about me. The hiss, it was a way out.
People can change. The past doesn't matter. Who are you today?
We're gonna have a lot of fun together.
Inspired by northern Sweden. Play as
Hela of Mice and Magic follows a brave little mouse on a mission to help a kind witch after she becomes too ill to protect the land. Players gather ingredients, brew magical potions, solve puzzles, and use a magical backpack to interact with the environment. Solo play, local split screen, and online co-op provide different ways to overcome challenges across forests, lakes, and mountain landscapes.
values near and dear to the team. Respect for nature, being in harmony with the land, and the importance of finding the time to slow down and take it all in. This is a story about harmony and balance. For centuries, a kind witch has protected this land and the creatures who live here. But as she's fallen ill, her spells are fading and she can't do it all by herself anymore. Now it's up to you to go out into the world and help all who live here, big and small. When you step into Hela, you step into a world inspired by real places in northern Sweden. These are landscapes the team knows by heart. Forests, meadows, rocky coastlines, and misty mares. Places they explore themselves, capturing the details that will later bring this world to life. Nature is more than a backdrop. It's a place to explore, experiment, and play. A place where small discoveries bring joy, where you can pause and leave daily worries behind. And where forest creatures may become your guides along the way. Music in Hela tells its own story. It responds to the world around you, but never overwhelms it. Each area of the map has its own theme, with the melodies and instruments reflecting the characters you will find there. The music is fuller and clearer near homes and settlements. More ambient in the forest, leaving space for silence and the natural sounds of the world. Hela blends exploration, cooperation, and a deep love for the natural world. With music by Frida Johansson and Henrik Oja, composers known for their work on the Unravel series, the game invites players to slow down, breathe, and reconnect with what truly matters.
Hell Let Loose Vietnam recreates large-scale battles from the Vietnam War with 50 versus 50 multiplayer matches built around teamwork and strategy. Players join the North Vietnamese Army or the U.S. Armed Forces, choose from 17 battlefield roles, and fight across 6 large maps. Helicopters, patrol boats, tunnel building, and historically accurate weapons support different tactics, while communication and coordination remain important throughout each battle. The Sinking City 2 unfolds in a flooded version of 1920s Arkham, where dangerous creatures and limited resources make survival a constant challenge. Third-person gameplay includes tense combat, puzzles, inventory management, optional investigations, and shortcuts that open safer routes and useful supplies. Players travel on foot and by boat while searching for the source of the flood and confronting growing Lovecraftian horrors across the city.
Have I had these powers since I was born? Am I special or something?
Psycho Dead places Alexia inside a secret laboratory where she must survive against monstrous creatures and relentless stalkers while searching for a way out. Third-person survival horror gameplay combines limited resources, puzzles, backtracking, combat, and stealth. Psychic abilities help in both battles and puzzle solving, by moving objects, creating barriers, and attacking enemies as the mystery behind the laboratory slowly unfolds.
Dr. Rose!
Helping you escape from Atlas is the only way I can atone for the sin I commit.
Moss, the Forgotten Relic, follows Quill, a small mouse traveling through a fallen kingdom filled with ancient magic, hidden secrets, and mysterious ruins. Players guide her across handcrafted environments, solve environmental puzzles, and overcome arcane dangers while building a strong connection with the hero. The game combines the stories from Moss and Moss Book 2 into one enhanced adventure, with updated visuals, new cutscenes, and added accessibility options.
Your asses better be in formation north of the stadium.
Orders are anytime, any place.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 tells a new story where war on the Korean Peninsula spreads into a wider global conflict. The campaign travels across Korea, New York, Paris, and Mumbai while following South Korean soldiers and Captain Price. Multiplayer features grounded first-person combat, and the DMZ mode introduces extraction missions where planning, objective selection, and safe escapes become key parts of each operation.
You guys heard that? Oh shit! Get down!
작전 개시, 여신 종료.
You're still a wanted man.
Yeah, I know.
What did you do?
What I had to.
We make our own rules of engagement now. You are moving a weapon of war. The kind we deny exists.
You do what you need to. Because you know I will.
배반자를 찾아내라. 이 마을을 불태워서라도. 제발!
수리탄 투척!
You're not ready. We could all die tonight. We don't even get a choice.
You broke a lot of rules, Price. No more rules.
Valor Mortis unfolds in an alternate 19th century Europe where a mysterious plague has changed the land and brought a fallen soldier back to life. Players control William and use first-person Souls-like combat with parries, dashes, finishers, and different weapons. Supernatural powers become stronger after each defeat as the story reveals the truth behind the plague, William's resurrection, and the enemies standing in his way.
What if you had within you
power, terrible and divine. To destroy your enemies, break their will. Would you have the strength, the resolve to wield it? If destiny was there, within reach, could you sacrifice everything? For your country. For your empire. For your emperor.
End of Abyss puts players in the role of Cell, a combat technician investigating strange disturbances inside a vast underground facility. Top-down sci-fi horror gameplay combines combat, resource management, gear upgrades, and scanning tools to unlock new paths. Branching areas encourage backtracking while monstrous creatures guard the deeper sections, where the mystery behind the abandoned complex and a strange signal gradually comes into view.